Okay. Turn it off. Hey, onegaishimasu. Okay, we're gonna start with kind of the bell meditation. So what I recommend, unless your love stays off, sit easy. Okay. And been using this actually even today a little bit. It handles a state. Oh, it's not right. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay. I think I just canceled what I needed. It was over here. Yeah. Okay. What? Okay. So finally, again, eyes open or closed, doesn't matter. What's going on here? YouTube? Come on. Yeah. Okay. In. Up. Okay. There's sound, there's silence. The sound comes out of silence, goes back to silence. We go bang, 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 bang. There's not really any silence there. Right? So boom. Motion comes out of stillness. Motion comes out of stillness, goes back to stillness. I'm too busy. There we are, stillness, motion. Stillness, motion. Stillness, move. Notice how your motion goes to another stillness. Remember, the stillness, after the motion, goes back to itself as stillness. Both ways. So move any motion, turning your hip, raising your hand, comes out of stillness, goes back to stillness. I'm going to walk over there. Good. Came out of stillness. At some point, go back to stillness. Another motion. So all I want you to do, move anything, and be conscious of. Is that stillness, movement, stillness. Okay? I'm learning it. I'm not quiet. Quiet and stillness are similar. Too much noise up here. So move. Stillness. Move. You can take some steps if you like. Stillness, motion. Any movement will go back to stillness. And there will be another movement. Goes out and goes back to stillness. Okay, so a little on the firmer side, you're going to do a move. Okay? Good. Move. Yeah. Okay. Now, what we're going to cover, okay, I'm waving at him. Okay? That motion, the waving motion, I'm not biased, it's kind of weird. But out of some stillness comes this motion. I can wave the other hand. Okay? So let's everybody just practice waving the hand. Now that movement at the beginning, it came out of stillness. And it's going to go back to stillness at some point. Now, for example, it's a double movement involving both right and left. At some point, it's going to go back to stillness. And motion out of that stillness goes back to the stillness. We get too caught up, too busy with the movement, and we miss where the movement comes out of. Now, where does this motion come from? It comes from a thought. Dense, stupid, or empty in a certain way. Oh, David. David, hi. Okay, that sort of thing. Now, there's a context to this motion, and then there's a context, but it's the same thing. You know, we see this as an attack. It can be kind of a strike to the top of the head. Most of the time, if we get into it, we can kind of do this, but the same thing. That attack comes out of some sort of stillness. You'd be surprised how it responds very differently. Oh, hi, or he sends it. Okay? If he's coming. Okay? I don't want to watch his hand. I want to see when this motion comes out of his fullness. Okay? Now we are setting up triangle to triangle. He's going to come in with his right side. Okay, let's just take right there. Most people have that right side back when they take a step. Okay, I'm going to do the right side attack with my left foot forward. Okay. So a little bit of a step and a turn. Okay, now for example, right where he is, to attack him, I must move to him. I'm not going to attack. I'm just going to send weird psychic vibes to him. That's a kind of form of attack. Right? But to move to him, I must break the silence. So as we get a little bit more sensitive, aware, conscious, mindful, whatever you want to call it, he doesn't look at the hand. He begins to pick up in my system, leaves, and goes to motion. Okay? So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to practice. One, the attacker comes up. I'm coordinating so hand and foot match as opposed to. And the person receiving that attack is going to turn the hip, move a little bit to the side, let it go past. But he's tracking me. No, his intent's right there. If I kind of go this way, then his intent tracks. So be conscious. Okay? Let's pair up. We're just going to do the off the line. Yeah. See, to attack you, he must move to you. Now, we do certain things. For example, he's already on me. Okay, then I mean, you do something in order to loosen him up. But if he's going to actually with a striking motion, I see it, I react. Okay, now wave to me. Wave, good. The context of the attack, okay, hi. On the other hand, wave to me. Do it again. Yeah. The wave is coming out of a stillness. Now attack. Okay. Right. So a little bit, we learn the form, but we don't learn the context of it. Okay? So again, just being more sensitive that I'm going to move, which I'm not. I must break the stillness to move to you. Before that motion, there's a thought. The energy moves, my body moves. 1, 2, 3. Okay? By the time you see the body, you've missed 2. Okay? So as you kind of quiet a little bit, easy, you start to pick up. You look at my hand, you start to pick up when my movement starts. And better than that is when you're picking up the stillness, shifting into motion. Okay? Okay, that's good. Now, what we're going to do a little bit, we do sometimes if he grabs, that back foot crosses it, okay? On this particular one, he's coming with some sort of emotion. Now, from here, we can get a better position. But I don't want to right here, cross here. I just want to move off the line a bit, okay? Yeah. Now, the most important, give me a side. So put a side forward. So get used to putting in a triangle. So forward first, good. Now that's the side I'm going to attack right now with free range. Okay? Now, notice I'm going to wave at you. Oh, we see movement in context. Wave high. Oh, that's cool. Now he's going to strike. I'm attack. But wave. Whatever. So that's good. Do it again. That comes out of. For our purposes right now, the same thing. It's better to go back than it is have to get off the line. But as you get a little more still with yourself, you pick up when my stillness goes into motion. Okay? And you move. Good. That was nice. But when you do that, in some sense, your movement, my movement sync up. Okay, other side. So right where you are, if you are kind of in a certain sense of stillness, when I move, you feel my stillness go into motion. Good. And you're balanced and you're capable. Okay? You see that here, Linda? Okay, good. Okay, that's good. Now, let's see everybody, just stand up and stretch the legs for a second, okay? All right. Okay, and one of the things, I thought my first movement class today at San Jose State, first class was just procedure, okay? And I kind of said that basically, I want you to be loose, not sloppy, okay? I said, okay, the Golden State Warriors, they play music at their practices. They're encouraged to be very loose, but they're held accountable. There's accountability. If I'm too loose, I'm sloppy, I'm not accountable. Or I'm accountable for something, I just am not in a position to behave responsibly. Okay, now here, for example, we're a little closer. Now, this is contextual, okay? So stay where you are, from across the room. That makes sense, right? Stay where you are, I'm not going to do anything crazy. That gets freaky, doesn't it? Come across the room, hey, hi. Okay? Now, one of the things, for example, is in close. In other words, we have distance, we have response time. If somebody is close to you, and they can not necessarily do the attack, or they can, whatever. Okay, so what we're going to do, you're waving hi to them. Boom. Okay, now here, we're going to move this way. And boom. Come on in, this way, so I'm extending to. Now what I'm doing right here is recountering my motion. So it's less out there in response, reactive, and more proactive. It comes more from my hips. Okay. Now, all that is, I'm waving high, but it's a contextual situation. As she's thinking about the attack, but I wave high before I draw a response. Okay? And moving down here, Saparuke. She's kind of fighting. Don't just flow with it. Yeah. Otherwise, I got to get a little rougher. And some people like the rough treatment. Okay? And what this does down here, instead of reactive operand, responding more from the fluid place in my own system, which includes my hips opening, my mind getting confused, mind clearing, settling, the hips opening. Rotate the hips, toes are tough. Now the hips move this way, they open, they loosen up. Okay? Chen, would you take Archie, please? All right. Yeah, now what we're going to do right here. Okay, now, for example, put your hands out like this and support yourself with your hands and keep your legs back and put your tummy down. Okay? Good. A lot of times we roll, but sometimes we stretch. Okay? So what we're doing here, let's say, in terms of, okay, I'm about to do something, but she weighs higher than me. She picks up, I'm about, it draws my attention. Now right here, I put my hand down, and I stretch out, put my tummy in. Okay? That's all we're doing right there. Sometimes we roll, sometimes we stretch. Okay, now for example, here I have this movement. So she's connecting to me, she waves high before she's intercepting my thought. My thought, that's my energy in motion. It manifests right now. I'm about to attack her. She's better than reacting to this as I'm about to. She makes the first move. That's my attention. And we have that motion. Okay? Now notice right here. She's, okay, good. She's right there. I put my hand down. I'm going to stretch my legs out, put my belly down, receive a stretch there. Okay? In the process, my shoulders loosen up. On her part, her hips loosen. Okay? Major thing about this Wada, this new technique, is that you do it in a way where your hips loosen up. Other than that, we're standing with our hips tense. Okay? And just by when the hips loosen up, your mind starts to come into focus. You can be focused and kind of very smooth with things. Okay? So let's go. Yeah, it's interesting, for example, from a distance, just wave back. Yeah, but right about here, this we put in a different context, right? But they both start out of stillness, right? And in context, across the room, waving is cool, but if I start to wave this way, it's a little weird, isn't it? Now, the point is you're about to attack, and I decide to say, okay, I'm going to intercept that intent. We're creating a play action with our partner. You're not really an attacker, but it's got a play act. And what I want to develop mutually, you don't wait for this, the way we're doing it. If there's a thought in my head, it starts the key or the energy moving, and then there's this. Or this, it's just right. Oh, I think the world is great. Why did somebody smash me in the face? Okay, well, they both come out of the same matrix, so to speak. There's stillness before the movement. Mind leads. Energy moves. The body moves. Good Aikido is not necessarily dealing with something new. Oh, I think I'll handle it here before it gets out of control. And really just, you see that? Oh, I'm going to poke you in the face, make you ready. No. Contextually, this is weird. But you're about to attack me. All right. Huh? So I'm just trying to present it that way because other than that, I got to go for your eyes so you raise your hand and it gets weird that way. But if you understand, motion comes out of stillness. Oh, if you're still, then you read the thing when the thought is about a thought starts to move T. That's when you want to intercept it, take it in a different path. Okay? Okay. Now, stand up and stretch the legs. Okay? Now, a little bit of word on Ikkyo. If you're falling a little bit like a sack of heavy, potatoes, examine what you're doing. Okay? Because ideally, for example, let's just say we start out here. No, he's got to, okay, he's not saying. If, in other words, you're kind of like, you don't quite read it, but you get the, okay. But he's about to come this way, and David, he's fluid. He doesn't go crash to the ground. He doesn't crash to the ground too much. Okay? That's not good. So one of the things I kind of want you to look at a bit right here, he's kind of, he's sort of body surfing. There's an energy flow. Putting his hand down to the ground, which means, of course, if you ever do this for real means a real attacker, they don't know how to fall. They're going to land on something. They could hit their head. They could bang up the knee, land on the shoulder. So everything we do, when it's done a certain way, is very, very safe. About two-person yoga. It's a working energy. Likewise, when you're receiving it, okay, now right here, what does he do? He tapples, and if we, boom, just go all the way like that, he hits something. So he stretches with me. That response right there is very important. He bends his knees, gets down, and he doesn't jam his fingers. He puts his palm there. And then he stretches this way. If you're going crash, 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 when you're doing that, then re-examine what you're doing. Okay? Okay? Smooth. Usually it's a combination. He's coming in a certain way. But if I go boom. Okay? Now your arms straight up. Okay? As he's getting up, we're intercepting again. But he usually stands up. He's quick. Cut. Boom. Okay? Good Aikido. Just cut, pulls in, or conversely he reacts aggressively. Maybe I was just play acting. But when we move on him, there's a thought, it says energy and motion, and then there's a physical attack. So what we're doing right here is not attacking the attacker. Okay, now the thought is starting, my energy is starting to move way high to me. And then there's this motion. Okay, put the timing a little bit right there. By the time the hand's coming at you, it's too late. But you read it somewhat, you're here. Better than that is if she's about to attack. Now we got the roles confused, but we got to have an intuitive sense. Okay? If I'm Stephen Curry and you're Klay Thompson, I pass you the ball. That's fine. You're a good shooter. But wait for Curry to get open. He's a better shooter. And working that out, of course, is very important. Teamwork. Strength in numbers. Okay? So anyway, what I want you to do, come on. Okay. Put your hand down. Good. You're very good at this. Put your hand down. But bend your knees. Don't jam your fingers. Put your palm down. Stretch with it. Okay? There's a lot of timing and things you get out of that. they're too slow, what happens is you're thrown and you don't really think you're going to go thrown. That's when you get hurt. They're on the side of being quick. Okay? Let's keep the same partner standing. Yeah. You'd be surprised how much I do, though, for example, here. No, it's just there. He's not thinking or tensing, whatever it is. Then he falls like a sack of potatoes. The bending of the knees, the touching of the ground, develops speed, reaction, and then you can. Oftentimes, when somebody is going to fall like a sack of potatoes, it usually means that they're losing their balance and they're going splat. Okay? And what's important, you're right there, he didn't complete. Yeah, I throw you the ball under the hoop, but you missed the layup. Stretch, make contact with it, shoot. Good. I got an assist, you got 2 points. You see that feeling a little bit? And then you can kind of do that. So you're always a little slow. Good. Now that's not complete. Then we extend there. If somebody doesn't know how to do this, they're going to hit something. They're going to hit a knee, they're going to hit a shoulder, maybe they hit their head. Put the hand down. Make sure it's in contact. Good. You can feel the ground with your feet, but you're going to do that in a minute. And that develops functional speed. Stephen Curry and I make a great pass to you, and you're reluctant to shoot when the whole play is designed in the motion for you to shoot. And that, of course, throws the whole offense off. If you do that a couple times, Kuminga's going to go in for you. Okay, right? Hey, Wiggs, you're supposed to shoot. You're a 40% shooter from open threes in the corner. Shoot. You're throwing our offense off. So right about here. And then the technique that's safe. Your technique acquires a certain sort of focus. You don't have to be fast. You don't triple behind the back. Throw it out. Just throw it. Easy 2 points. All right, but we got to be on the same page there. Okay? Yeah. Okay. All right. What we're going to do, just more demonstration. Keep standing right here. Now, what he's going to do, he's going to come with a sword cut. Good. If I'm a little late, let it go fast. If I'm a little better, then boom, we get that motion. Okay? See, by opening, raising, he opens, he creates a section. Oh, gonna jam up. Boom. Okay? Now, if I'm stupid, I kick him in the face. He's got to go see the dentist because I knocked a couple of teeth out. We don't want to do that. So I'm just demonstrating. But right here, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Okay? For him to attack, there's a thought. It's just this key in motion, and there's a physical motion right here. But boom. We want to train ourselves to move between the thought and the key starting to move. I'm a bad leader. This country, we're on the brink of nuclear war with, or we might be. Best thing in the world is that, nobody wins nuclear war. Before we start to get itchy fingers on the button, the nuclear codes, let's create an understanding. That's preemptive. And it's not a question of who's going to strike first because you're not going to win a nuclear war. Okay, Aikido, for example, is coming because his movement itself, yeah. All right, what's it? Yeah. Okay, good, good, good. Okay. All I'm trying to do is illustrate using props. If he's going to come in right there, then boom. Come in again. See, everything he does is off a thought. Somebody's in there thinking you're getting weird vibes from them, but their energy's not going anywhere. It's just weird. Be cool. And then all of a sudden their energy starts to move. Be very conscious there. Okay? All I'm doing right there is trying to be in that place where his thought starts his ki in motion. They're not having a sword fight. It's just yin to yang, dialoguing back and forth. Okay, so that's the piece here. That one's holding thing. Now, what we did was an entering motion. See, notice how David's already got his hand down. That's good. He's in a position to receive that stretch. Now, well, maybe he's going to come in underneath that, so I'm going to step back and stretch him this way. All right? Right? He could be trying to come in over the top. That's fine. But we're again reading that place between when the thought is there and the energy starts to move, as opposed to it's already coming at you. If it's already coming at you, deal with it. That's not coming. Good. You got to learn that too. Okay, for sure. But we're going to deal today with training your consciousness a little bit to be still enough to pick up that place. He must move to you, or she must move to you to attack you. But that motion starts with a thought and energy gathering. So that's when good Aikido is done. Okay? This is called the step back version of it. It's a draw technique. Okay, same technique Ikkyo, but it's step back. In other words, before we were riding a wave in, now the tide is going out. Okay? Let's keep the same partner one more time. And we'll, okay, let's do the other one too. This one. Okay, now that's what we call more of a now right there. Put your hand down. Right. Okay, I'm wide open for a layup. I drop the ball or I clank it. Okay, one of those wonderful curry passes right in the muddy end. Boom. So the Uke is also learning a response right there. Oh, the ground. Then it's like strength in numbers. You and your partner both getting good skills, okay? All right? That's an important one. That's okay. That ability is very much like the sword being in the face of the attack as you're thinking about coming at you. You see the feeling right there? How do you get that timing? Well, it may not be sword today, but that's also the essence of the sword. Okay? Cool. Okay, now one thing I kind of want you to realize right here, this is like a thrusting motion. Even though you see it as a wave, you see what I mean? It's like you're in archery. Okay? Okay. The arrow. Okay. Now, for example, here. Now, again, everything comes down to this. I'm going to move on you. It starts with a thought. Then my energy starts to gather, and then the physical. So part of that, if you're nice and still, you wave hi to me at the proper time. Fully. Now, in this, you get this. The elbow is the elbow is a spear point thrust that way. Okay. You see the difference right there? You're releasing the arrow. Okay? You don't just walk. Okay? Now this is the forward motion. Same thing on the other side. I'm a very confused person. Keep your center. All of a sudden, something happens right there. There was a thought, maybe not a good one for you. My energy starts to gather. I'm about to make a move. Now, don't step yet. The elbow is the arrow. Fire it. Okay, good. Keep going. Okay, good. Okay. Now, there's another part to it. So you put that for forward. Okay, now, again, this doesn't make much sense now, but as you get a little calmer, you start to pick up that. Okay? Now, what it is, I'm about to make that transition. See what I mean? I'm about to move towards you. The thought, the energy is starting to move to go this way. Now, stay where you are. Don't step yet. Let's see the other part of it. Now, you're going to step back with that foot and turn your hip. Oh! Okay? Yes. The first one is more yang. This is more yang. All right? Maybe she's tricky. I do this, and she's going to come in underneath that. Okay? So she does that. Oh, good. You step back, directed down that way. Okay, so it's both yin and yang, both fire and water. Okay? All right? A little clear? Okay. Now, one of the things right there, make sure that's there before you do that. Okay? Now, if somebody changes, then maybe you ought to take them this way. Okay, but if you're coming underneath, it's good. You see what I mean? So there's a context to it. Okay? Now, for example, I want to enter, but he's already planned he's going to come in underneath me. So we go that way and come in underneath. But now he goes the other way. Okay, I'm going to enter on him. But then it becomes too mixed up. So we go entering right, left, turning right, left. But it's also important to understand the context of it. Ultimately, you don't want to make any rules. Okay? Yeah. I mean, you could say the Republican Party is, I'm not going to get into politics. I think just Democratic Party. But it's like that Captain America movie. There is no shield anymore. It's been infiltrated by Hydra. And so when you get too much of an extreme slant, it's not the Republican Party anymore. Yeah. Okay. On the other hand, the whole thing is, okay. Let's be easy with one another, have a conversation as opposed to polarizing this much. That's what the IQ is supposed to do. We may not agree, but we're going to talk. And yeah, I think I'm right, but then again, I'm going to listen to what you think, and we'll kind of compare notes, and we'll just reassess everything. Healthy. And then it'll be pretty easy if I'm talking to Hydra, and I think I'm talking to Shield. You see what I mean? So, that's one of my favorite movies. Okay. Okay, now the single thing, your motion's good. Now this is a real tricky one because it looks like what you're doing is firing the arrow first, but you're not. But you have to initiate the movement. You can't be responding to me to some degree. You must, to some degree, reprogram me so I respond to you. And you run into that right now. Nobody's paying attention because you're a woman. Well, guess what? You better pay attention. That's what you're saying right now. You know? So extend towards me. Good. See that? Now you can't just go here and grab the arm and do that. So you're not going to poke me in the face to get my attention. Okay, good. Now the second doesn't go up. It goes out like an arrow. I get the elbow. Now I'm about to come in under. Step back. Good, 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 good. Now that's the context of it. A lot of times I show you something, but you don't understand the context for when it's applicable. All right? Somebody tells you, always be polite. All right, but somebody behaving very inappropriate with you, maybe you should not be polite. You'd be direct, say, don't do that with me. You see what I mean? And so, you know, if it's polite to everybody, then what happens is that you create problems. Okay? So you stand up. As I'm about to make a move, and this again right now is just a lot of thought, get calm. My motion starts out of stillness. You intercept that. Now you step back. Okay? Now, knees down. Put your left knee down first, and the right knee, and make sure my arm is straight out, and we'll clean that up even more as we go. Okay? Yeah. The major thing is a lot of this is hard because why don't you have a seat for a second? No, come on. Yeah, real Aikido is very important. Real Aikido is, you know, to some degree, the problem with the country is, you know, basically the Republican Party is SHIELD being infiltrated by Hydra. Okay? And the Democrats don't know they're in a street fight. You see what I mean? We don't have Captain America to save us right now. So some of this is getting the spirit of Captain America or Wonder Woman or whatever it is. You know, we want to go around attacking people, but on the other hand, we don't want to be reactive when the other side is being kind of dirty. You see what I mean? Yeah. We don't want to be victims. Oh, God, I can't do it. Yeah, because, okay, at some point, you know, we've got to say, look, you know, this is inappropriate. Women should be able to decide what they want to do with their bodies. Okay, take that away. There will be consequences. There should be. Okay? All right? So you don't say, yeah, we'll let you do that. No, you won't. You shouldn't. So then I'm about to move towards you. Okay, good. See that? She didn't wait until I was in power and making all the rules. She went right now, and good. See that motion right there? And so real Aikido is supposed to kind of teach us it's not being tough, it's having integrity. I don't believe in that. I'll tell you why I don't believe in that. I want to be treated that way. I'm not in power right here, and I may have to kind of be easy with what you're doing right now, but that doesn't fly here. Right, without being violent or anything. See what I mean? If you have integrity, you're not necessarily tough. Okay? Trump's a coward. That's why he's a bully. And if he's a bully, he's a coward. How do you handle a bully? You have integrity. You are yourself. You don't fight him to fight him, but you, not for me. Thank you. Okay? All right? Cool. Okay. Now, again, wave to me. Good. One more time. In context. Stop. Your motion, my motion will come out of nothing. Will come out of silence. Wait. Come on. All right. Now, likewise, you can do an attack form. Okay? That has a thought. Your energy moves. Good. So I'm going to wave to you right then. No, I'm going to accept it like this. You don't want to be reacting to the attacker. You want to be able to point out, my thought, do something crappy, okay, but my thoughts just key in energy, in motion, and then I do something stupid or destructive. You might say, you know, you're a friend of mine, you're going to end your marriage doing that, so cool it for a while. You see what I mean? You see what I mean? A little bit right there. It's a little bit like a friendly. All right. In other words, that's what you're doing. You know, if I'm about to attack you, there's a thought that goes into energy moving, and then my hand moves. Wave to me. Wave to me. Okay. Now be ready to act and talk. Okay. And what that does, it creates a different level of you. You're not gonna, you're not gonna let your friends ruin their lives, but you're also not gonna be so. No, I'm just gonna let you know that if you keep doing that, you're gonna destroy something you don't want destroyed. So I'm giving you a little friendly advice here. All right? And you may not listen to me. Okay, I've done my job. Okay. All right. Draymond Green talking to Jonathan Kuminga. You could be the best player in the league in 3 years, or you could be out of the league. It's up to you. You're that good, and you're that young. Okay. If you goof off in practice, guess what? Right? And Draymond says, well, he has some substance to it. Why? Because he's been there. Okay? Right? Yeah, that's good. That's also a good fall. Now you're starting to be in the flow, receiving the movement. That's all good. It takes a while. But part of it, you see what happens, the ability to receive. In other words, right here, there's a very positive. The wave is riding the wave here, but the ocean also receives. Okay, so it follows yin to yang movements. Okay. Now here you're riding the wave to the shore, but it's going to come back. Okay, yeah, and there's all the details and stuff. As you get clear enough, silent enough, still enough, it naturally comes in. Okay, so good job. Okay. Yeah, now careful. Receiving way too much force. Okay. Receiving way too much force. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but you're letting Shaq bully you 2 feet from the hoop. Okay. Not good. Bill Russell would ask, what would you do with Shaq? He's 300 some odd pounds. I'd run him to death. I'd make him chase me, wear him down so he couldn't punish me on the other end. It's not like I'm going to physically, no, I'm just smarter than him, I think. Okay? Shaq actually is pretty smart. Exact polar opposite of Curry. He says Curry's the best player in the league, not even close. Well, he wins. He wins. Everybody else is that he's not big, he's not this, he's not that. I'm saying, no, he wins. He's a tough shot taker and a tough shot maker. And Shaq was a very dominant player when the league had a very different model. He looked at Curry and says, he's the best. And a bunch of idiots go out there, I'm not saying he is, think a lot of stupid thoughts. Okay? We don't want to be the dinosaurs. It's still 3 beats 2. That's math. Space, you get Shaq, well, get him out in the perimeter and see how he does. That's all they do is work ball screens with him. Even Kareem, you know, that big guy who if they double team him where he couldn't extend his arm. You know, there's a whole thing with that dominance, you know. It's like, okay. No, different game now. Pace and space. If you're a big guy, you got to play perimeter defense. You got to be able to somewhere make a shot out there, right? Different game. Right? Curry brought it all in. And a lot of people still can't think that way, especially the so-called experts. But when I'm about to make a move, to intercept that, there's no weight to my thought. Now, as my body starts to move off the key moving, there's weight. But when you get that, okay, yeah, okay. Now, if you go this way, it's like the shot bounces in, but it's basically a brick. So nothing but net from 30 feet. There's timing, and Curry oftentimes, he doesn't always know, but he senses that moment. Okay, all right, now, every time there, the shot's not there anymore. Okay, good. That's how it feels. And if you're feeling a lot of weight, you got to re-examine where you are. Okay? You're playing 60s basketball back to the basket. You're not playing the 21st century NBA. The great players would adapt. Shaq would probably way less and still be able to defend. Right? I'm not, but see what I mean? There are shifts, right? Okay. Okay. Now we are about to go. Okay. One of the things about Aikido, there are a lot of physical skills, but one of the most important things is you're training your consciousness through your actions. Okay? And, with this thing about initiate the attack, there's so many threats to democracy these days. Okay? And if we just wait for there to be an autocracy, all right, for the whole system being totally fascist, you're going to have a tough time. Right now, it hasn't happened yet. Okay, joke I make a lot of times is the Democrats. They basically don't realize they're in a street fight. Now, the whole thing about a street fight, let's just say that we are not stupid enough to get involved in it. You sense the energy, do something to change the energy. Okay? Once it's martial law, once it's just mob rule, it's too late. Once the whole world is a Mad Max film, you want to live in it? I don't think so. You kind of want to be like the Amazons in the Wonder Woman movies. They do all the physical training, they are peak warriors, and they live in harmony. Okay? And that's kind of, my own momentary pop art synopsis of what Aikido is about. That sort of warrior, where you have martial skill, and literally, if you're the queen of the Amazons, you have to be a leader. You don't want to lead your Amazons to their death. You want to choose the wisest path, and you're dealing with dark forces. Now here we're not dealing with dark forces, we're learning how to enlighten. You play active being dark, the attacker, okay? Anyway, we're going to bow out. Let's do that. Okay, thank you very much. One thing before I go, this class on Sunday is not going to happen because there's an area meeting, okay? If you want more information on that, then email me and I'll give it to you. But I think we all need to go. Thank you. Oh. Come on. David, I don't want to talk with
Thank you, Sensei. Goodbye, Cliff.
Thank you, David. Yeah, it's. I know it's back to school time because I caught a cold.
Well, take your time, get better. Hope
Yep.
you feel well soon.
Thanks. Negative COVID test. That's the upside. I'll see you
Yeah.
guys next week. All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for broadcasting.
Yeah, no class Sunday.
Yep, I know. See you next Wednesday. Bye.
Bye-bye.